Namaskaram and thank you for unmuting me now. I wanted to get unmuted before the intro was read because I am attending the sessions from morning. I found somebody got violent when intro was not up to date, and he is supposed to talk about how to be silent. So I have been seeing how practical is philosophy, how practical is webinars, and therefore I feel the webinar on happiness is like a Mahabharata war. The first chapter in the morning session was Arjuna Vishada Yogam. Many people had complaints. Great warriors were introduced. Generally in the morning you have great warriors. Like in the morning session is the first chapter, you have got everybody with the trumpets, Maharathas and all that. And after that it is supposed to be the real Bhagavad Gita which starts. I was reluctant. Everybody was telling that I am so happy to be present on this national or international. You can call anything. That doesn't matter. And then you can also give different names. And everybody keeps saying that I am so happy to be around here. But I am not. Actually, I requested Jayanti Sahu not to put me into this. But without my consent itself, I was asked. Because it's not with Bharatiya Shastram. Bharatiya Shastram doesn't want people to be just happy. Wellness is not a chapter of yoga at all. I don't know, international, national, local, village yogacharyas are there in this world today. I don't know which yogacharya can make XYZ well when in the happiness index in the United Nations index, India is the 11th worst country in the world in terms of wellness and happiness. That is because everybody starts marketing themselves. It's like a big competition. I have seen today morning onwards different streams of people from different styles of ashrams and yogis, and my PhD is in some specific acharya. I speak, he is the best and he has got all the solutions. And if I have an ashram or if I teach somebody, I will say that come to me, I will solve all your problems. These are all not actually part of yoga. We talk about unitedness. And it's a high competition. You know what Vivekananda told about it? I wish somebody speaks about one of the biggest yogi of India who took the Karma Yoga to the United Nations and who has interpreted Bhagavad Gita totally in Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. He says, after every happiness comes a misery. So how can somebody talk about happiness without having your life is to be just to be happy? Then you are not living in this world. It's a practical life. He says, they may be far apart or near. Maybe immediate future you get happiness. Maybe sometime you don't get it immediate future. Misery and happiness comes like a wave. Ups and downs are there. As your soul is more and more advanced, if you are a person who is highly spiritual, is not slightly advanced, that means you are slightly getting closer to the spirituality, yoga, adhyatmikata, not that physical monkey yogas with exercise, the real yoga in the Ashtanga yoga sense, or maybe in the integral yoga of, I am so happy somebody mentioned it, but immediately he refers to some Westerner to compare our great rishis. that is because they learned from the notes which have been written in the West. I am not talking about that. You talk about Bharatiya Rishivamsha, all of them told, if you become slightly higher, between the happiness and misery, the gap will become less and less. That means it is not there, is not what you will attain. You will have sorrow, but immediately you know how to conquer it. So what is yoga? The ability to conquer a sorrow, because prarabdha karma is part of this world. You cannot live in a society where it is not polluted. And if somebody says, no, my Mahaguru said all the pollutions can be solved, you come to my ashram. Is it his ashram is not in this world or what? You follow my guru, then there is no pollution. Then there is no corona. Then there is no Kargil war. Then there is no Islamabad problem. There is no Afghan problem. What is the guru? We had many such people. Lord Krishna himself took Manushya avatar and then gave all the preachings, but still the problem is there. When Dwapara Yugam there was problem, Treta Yugam there was problem, maybe Krita Yugam we don't know, Satya Yugam whether that was there. And we know in Kali Yugam everyday problems will be there. So yoga teachings are not to get rid of problems and get into the cave and then go back to the world where people are not there. You have to be in the society, live with the problems, but it doesn't affect you inside. It is not that I don't get angry. I may get angry with somebody, but in my mind immediately after that, it is clean. I don't know how many people who spoke a lot of things. It's one simple sloka can probably 3 lectures in the morning onwards is only one sloka, because everybody interpreted the basic Bharatiya Shastra sloka which is written in Tantra Shastra, interpreted by the rest of the people who started reading it. And I heard many people interpreting it by interpretations of X, Y, Z, etc. No, don't require, it is there. And where is it available? You go and ask any priest in the temple nearby your house, he will know how to become Shuddhi. That Shuddhi is not environment cleaning. Global warming is a big problem. I don't know what is this yoga solution for global warming. Yeah, the bogus problem in the world. There are a lot of bogus problems. Western people start imposing onto the world because they can materially gain. Yesterday we had a interfaith meeting in which somebody was telling what is the solution for these problems. I said all the pharmacy people makes money, then COVID will stop, because they are buying every country in the world. That's it. It's all business. You cannot compete with the business. We are not here for business. If you start competing with a rich man, assume that you see a princess or you see a most beautiful person and you want to be like that. The whole life you will become unhappy. You have to be happy what you are, then show that what best you can do. And what best, not trying to do it. Do it. That's what is required. So what you want, happiness? Yes, but never described in our Shastras. Our Shastra only says Vedantago Brahmanaha Satchatriyo Vijay Bhavet Vaishodhana Samurdhaha Shudra Sukhamapniyat. If you say Sukham is happiness, you have to be a Shudra. Who is a Shudra? Who doesn't have a knowledge, who doesn't have any bank balance, who doesn't want to do anything. He don't want to commit anything to the society. He want to just become a slave to somebody who gives him job every now and then. Happy. Our scripture says this is not what you have to be. You have to raise from that Shudra level. Jayade Shudra. By Janma we are Shudras. From there you go up and up and up and up. So what happens? You keep on adding miseries in your life. Adding miseries is progress. As adding miseries is development. This is what is to be understood. And how do you clean yourself from this misery and the pollutions? Pranavana Vyanodhana Samaname Shuddhyandam Jyotirham Viraja Vivatma Bhuya Sangha Swaha. Vak, my word has to be clean. Mana, my mind has to be clean. Chakshu, Shrotra, Grana, Jihwareto, my Indriyas has to be clean. Buddhya, my Buddhi has to be clean. Sangalpa me Shuddhyandam, my thought process has to be clean. Jyotiraham Virajavi Patma Bhuya Sanga Swaha Shiropani Padasparsha. Every part of my body has to be clean. Tok Charma Shashira, my tok, skin has to be clean. You be clean yourself, but that doesn't mean you don't have to clean after some time. Every day you have to take that bath. Prithvi, my earth has to be clean. I'm just only chanting the first sentence. It's a big sloka. Saptashuddhi. You ask some priest in your temple, they will know, but they may not know the meaning. Why are they chanting? They may not know. That was the misery in our life. That is the misery in our rituals. They just know how to chant without knowing the meaning. So what is this young generation to do? Learn from them, then understand. That's what I did. That is what Bhagavad Gita tells. You have to progress in your life. Learn, 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 learn. Learning is the solution to become Vedanta Go Brahmanaha, the higher level. Mano buddhirahangaras chittam me shuddhyandam. Then all the pranas has to be clean. Annamaya, pranamaya, manonmaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya kosham me shuddhyandam. We had a 40 minutes lecture. One sloka is good enough. See, we keep on repeating the same thing from different mirrors with not the plain mirror also. We have a convex mirror and concave mirror. Somebody looks at it as very small and says, mine is big, the other one is small. I don't know why this competition is what has created problem. Arjuna Vishada Yogam, the violent Arjuna in the first chapter gets into the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the silent yoga. I am from Himalayan tradition meditation. My guru taught only one meditation, that's silent. Silence not in terms of don't lip silence. Your Atma, your Buddhi, I have put into electroencephalograph. My Buddhi doesn't work when I speak because I am not thinking, it just comes. I am only reflecting from what I heard from the morning. I wish I get each one of them for one session for one day. We can clarify where went wrong, what went wrong, where is good, where it is not good, where you have to connect. That unification is yoga. Then when you have that yoga unification, moksha sannyasa will come. That is what the last end of Bhagavad Gita. Moksha sannyasam. What is moksha sannyasam? Yatra yogeshwara krishno tatra partho danurdharaha tatra sri vijayo bodhir dhruva nidir madir mamaha. Wherever that Yogeshwara Krishna is joined with you, that Yogeshwara comes to you, the joining comes to you, tatra partho, the physical strength with action. It is not morning 20 minutes you do this yoga and then the whole day you are happy. What? Which Patanjali told this? I don't know who has seen Patanjali's book when he spoke about all this. At least look at the PDF which is available on internet where Vivekananda has written an interpretation or Patanjali Yoga Sutra before talking about yoga. Then you will know there is no postures which are being shown today as yoga is part of Patanjali at all. I am sure Patanjali will commit suicide if they see these yogacharyas, because Patanjali himself never called himself as that great yogacharya. He never advertised himself. See, look at these. Read that and understand. And that Yogeshwara, he said, wherever action is there, in your activity, you involve the yoga action. It is not yoga separate and life separate. Life itself has to be a yogic practice. Then, Tatra, in that place, Sri, you get all the decorations. There you will have Vijayam. Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhudir. Dhruva nidir madir mamaha. What else is required? That is my opinion. That is what Krishna says. He don't say this is what the prescription is. What a great. You have got Yogeshwara who says this is my opinion. And he surrenders and then leaves to people. But then we quote somebody else which says, in my guru's book the yoga started. I don't know whether his guru was older than Hindu. These are all. We have to have this colloquium wherein don't just listen. We should have good reflections, argue, understand. That is what the method of learning. I was asked to speak on Bhagavad Gita. That's why I'm quoting Bhagavad Gita, nothing else. I don't say Bhagavad Gita is the end of it. Maybe before that Ramayana also spoke, and Bhagavan Krishna only reflected on that. If yoga has to be talked, I think you should talk about Treta Yuga, where Rama was taught by Vasishta, Yoga Vasishta. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi upana gudapadasya nanu charmastrutaiva buhu. Everything is in the mind. As the mind dictates, the world is. You think everywhere, when climbing mountain is a big problem. If you enjoy climbing mountain, it's a beautiful enjoyment. Oh, morning somebody was telling, what a bad day is this, what a great, turmoil in the world. See, you are talking about happiness and you say that the whole world is in problem, third wave is coming, second wave is coming, politics is bad, world is bad. You keep on telling this 100 times to yourself, or you tell everybody around, then you will feel. Our job is to say it's not a problem. No problem, no problem. All is well. Your 3 Idiots movie is much better than a yoga lecture sometime. Is it to terrify people saying that no, the world is so bad? Maybe that is good to say that no, I have a solution, you have this problem, then you come to me. It's like a street vendor selling all the chadi booty. We have, that is not what yoga is. Yoga is jnanam, knowledge. When you get knowledge, you understand nothing is a problem in this world. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Your shariram doesn't matter. Then why do you worry about so much about your... See, yoga is a big solution for your obesity. I don't know which yoga... Hada Yoga Pradigava talks about you have a slim body, you are good. It is like in a soap advertisement, you will see a slim girl jumping in the water and then swimming. Therefore, if you are slim, you can jump and swim. That doesn't mean fat people cannot jump and swim. They can also jump. They can also swim much better. Elephant swims much better sometimes. So we take wrong examples. Hada Yoga Pradipika says, what you are supposed to do is Sharira Manaso Yoga Paraspara Manuvrajit Adhara Adheya Bhavena Tapta Jya Khadayoriva. The body and the mind is such related. If you only turmoil in your manas, your body will react. And I cannot ask, somebody comes and asks me, I have a fat body, you tell me what should I do, and tomorrow onwards you do Shirshasana. See, I must know what had made him to become that. The reason could be, I will tell you, your gynec problem, your psychological problem, your epilepsy problem. Most of the medicines what is given, reactions make people to become fat. It's a biochemistry which changes your body constitution. And your parents' constitution. Elephant cannot have a lean elephant as a child. Your paramparium has to be seen. And what is wrong in becoming fat or lean? I wish I become fat, but I am not. I wish I become much more heavier, but I am not able to, because my constitution is, I am 60 kilograms for last 30 years. I am not sad, I am happy because of that. Even if I eat more or less, it doesn't change. If I do Shirshasana, or maybe if I hang myself also, nothing will happen. Nihitnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyaye. Vidya is more important to make you pavitram. Tat swayam yoga samsiddhya. That has to come from your yoga. Yoga is joining with God. Tat swayam, that you can only reach. Nobody can teach meditation. Somebody says you learn and then start teaching meditation. Every yoga conference we will see, somebody says meditation can be taught. Tat swayam yoga samsiddha. Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter. Jnana karma sannyasa yogam. At least read one stanza and understand. Kalon atmani vindadi. What a beautiful sloka is this. There are a lot of contributions everybody takes, but I am not talking to those people who spoke here. I am only talking to those people who listen. You are not confused because you are not listening. You are only hearing. Therefore, no confusion in you. That is one of the biggest fortune. One of the biggest advantage of webinars are, I keep saying, Indian Constitution says you have a freedom to speak. Now the webinar gives you a freedom not to listen. You can show your attendance, and I keep on seeing the webinar advertisement will tell you for your attendance, fill up the form. That is more important. That should change. What is essential is we are glad to be here. We have a great forum where we can learn a lot. Let all of us suffer. The suffering gives the strength to become more and more wiser. So what is essential? We have to see the biggest, probably the greatest devotee of Vishnu, either Gandhari or Kundi, they have only asked for sufferings in life. If you suffer, then only you think about God. When you think about God, there is a sukham. So ultimate happiness is when you achieve that ability to conquer the problems. That is what is essential. And when you conquer that, see, why do people do WWF? Why do people jump and then do all the games? Because when you fight and get it, then you feel happy. Is it that you want to close your house and then sit inside and then be happy? Only mad fellows does it. The madness is giving full happiness. You want to be happy? Be mad. Anything happens also, you will keep on smiling. Madness is happiness. So happiness is never India's comfort zone. Mindset, all problems are due to bondages. How can you be happy? You change your mindset. Be yourself. But we don't have that freedom because India, the societal net is so strong. If I have to do something, I have to take permission from different people. So I surrender to my situations. When I surrender to my situations, that bondage is creating not to be free. Therefore, I am unhappy. That is what the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He could fight for the dharma. But Arjuna is not able to fight for dharma because he is having the bondage with his relationship. His Pitamaha is there, his Guru is there, my relative is there. Each one of us are suffering that every day today. I want to do something. I want to leave my scientist job and take a retirement. Immediately, my relatives, my neighbors, my enemies, everybody keeps saying, what a foolish fellow is this? How can he resign? His salary will become 1/5 and as that is the pension which he gets. If he would have continued in government, he would have been bada 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 bada. What bada 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 bada? We saw somebody today morning, his biodata is not introduced and he is so unhappy, I'm lost my mood of talking. And he is talking about yoga. He is talking about the pleasure. He is talking about, and bondage should not be there. In the lecture also it is told, you should not have bondage. But he is not out of bondage. This is not our problem. Theory is separate and practically separate. Second chapter, 11th sloka is where Bhagavad Gita starts. I am teaching Bhagavad Gita now, every Sunday, 7:30. Ashocya ananya shochastvam prajnavatamscha bhashate. Start with ashocya, don't be sad. So what is Bhagavad Gita's message? Don't be sad. Where it ends, 18th chapter, 66th sloka. Sarva dharman parityajya. You forget about all your dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is norm, the format in which you have to act. That format is our bondage. My society asked me to do like this. I cannot do anything against in my own wish. He says, Bhagavan says, forget about your dharma. That dharma which binds you. And do that dharma which is useful for the whole humanity. Not to become selfish. Serve society. So what Bhagavad Gita says, if you do actions with the devotions, not a devotional Lord, not Rama, 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 Krishna, 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 morning onwards, doing nothing. No. Do something which will help the public. Do social service with that devotion. And that is why Bhagavan Krishna is a karmic. Karma yoga is his main yoga. Do that, then what you will get? You will get moksha. Moksha is happiness. So what is the synonym for happiness is moksha. So you are guaranteeing moksha not after death. In this life, soon after when you do job, you feel happy. That blissfulness will be there. Moksha ishyami ma shucha. You will not feel sad. What a beautiful. That is enough. It explains in your action with the 200% busy. That is what makes you happy. People don't have other job. That is why you keep on complaining. Action is important. Just fly and cut off all the obstacles in front of you. If you think that makes some benefit for somebody else. Ena kena prakarena yasya kasyapi dehinah sandosham janayat pratna. Somebody gets happiness, not you. For somebody's happiness, you do it. And such people will become Atma Purusha. And such people, no manas, no buddhi, it is the Atma which works. And when you do that, I think you will be the happiest person. Beautifully, in the morning, lot of lectures were there, lot of reflections were there, in which Sinhaji beautifully explained during the inauguration, karma, artha, dharma, labha, moksha. Moral value along with action. That is our Purushartha. You don't have to name it as moral value with Purusha, no, action and then quote some foreign philosopher. Because most of our MA philosophy students learns only the books from the Western philosophy, and that is what they quote, and they sometimes say that yoga also says this. It is not that way. It is yoga what says, and some people learned it, and the use of the word mind itself is confusing. It is manas and the buddhi. Buddhi has to work and the manas has to work. Uddharet atmanatmanam atmanam avasadhayat atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Uddharet, lift it up. That manas and the buddhi lift it up to the atmiya level. That becomes a yoga. And that is what Bhagavad Gita teaches. You cannot quote Bhagavad Gita in between. You cannot quote Yogacharya in between, and you cannot quote Patanjali in between, and you say because of this you should eat this food so that you will be alright. Then when you are quoting, then quote 15th chapter. Katvam Lalavanatyushna. Bhagavad Gita also prescribes food. Where what is sattvic food, rajasic food, tamasic food. He also talks about the Pancha Sharira Shuddhi. All that has to be referenced. You take conveniently one part of the sloka and then explain, therefore what will happen. This is what India has. That beautifully explained in one of the paper. We have confusion between what is snake and what is the rope. The Adhyatmika, Bhautika, Siddhantam, clearly Dvaita Siddhantam have this problem. We have the problem with the God and the human also. We have this problem with the snake and the rope also. That is because your eye is not totally understanding. Atna anatibirandasya atnananjana shalakaya chakshurun milidam mena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Why that confusion? That confusion is because you are having timiram, cataract. Everything is blurred. Because you only heard some lecture from somewhere, some lecture from somewhere, some lecture from somewhere, some lecture from somewhere. The traditional Guru Parampara learning has not happened. So you are picking up from different pieces and then trying to connect to them. So it gets disconnected. So your Daiva Asura Sambat Vibhaga Yogam, maybe 16th chapter, sloka number 1 to 3, good enough. Maybe 5th chapter, Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijidatma Jitendriyaha Sarva Bhudatma Bhudatma Kurvanna Na Lipyate. You don't get attached to that. Na lipyate. That is not there. What is to be done? Ananyaschindayanto mam ye jana payupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam ahamyaham. Bhagavan gives you guarantee that your yoga kshema. That is what we want. Kshemam is happiness. You can join your knowledge, it will never leave you. You want fame, it will never go from you. That misery will not come to you. That is what Bhagavan guarantees to you. Without misery, I guarantee you happiness. When Ananyaschintayanto mam. Don't keep on switching from one place to another place. Do that parampara. Learn from him. The source. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate. Who serves me? That is what Bhagavan says. So get from the root. You have a problem. You don't believe him. You quote from different places. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyam. You surrender to him, then you will get that moksha. I can go on and on, but I am sure I thought I will not even speak. I wanted to say I have done, but then I couldn't stop because I attended all the sessions. I thought I must. There are beautiful lectures. I am not saying that it is not there. What is that? I don't remember the person who spoke it. The asanga, nisanga creates asukha. What a beautiful way is that. Shankaracharya's Guru Gaudapadar, Aspashta Yoga, beautiful. But that, what happened, that has gone like a flow, philosophy lecture, professor's lecture. But I don't think how many students who are listening to this understand this if you just finish. Our aim is to finish the job. That is because half an hour is given and 20 people has to speak. I did an international seminar. And no student will contact that person who spoke. I think it's Sujata Raju who spoke. We need one full day to understand that concept what spoke. That's where the rope and snake came, I think. The mind confused. And the confusion is when you speak about mind in English, it gets confused. The conflict between the manas and the buddhi doesn't understand when you use the mind, because we have a confusion. The mind is the manas or the buddhi. That's what Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter 5th sloka, if you read, you understand. I think it's good enough. I must have. Morning also I heard somebody was talking. I don't have time. 12 o'clock I have a lecture, and then he was talking about Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Niyama has to be. I have given half an hour. I think I started at I took almost the same. I am closing before that. I thought I was telling Jayanti Sahu, I will not speak. I can only take questions and answer. But having something heard, I could not stop reflecting. So I just made few points and then I thought I will refer that and then speak to you. That's all what I did. Nothing else. Good enough. If you have some questions, some reflections, I'll be happy. I know we have crossed the time because 17 minutes were disconnection problems and then connectivity problems and all the time. Lucky that it did not happen. Anything more? Or unless somebody intervene, I keep on speaking, I can speak, no problem. Why not? Yeah, I saw another contradiction. When I am thinking, I'll tell you. Somebody says that Aspashta is you are not supposed to touch anything. Because your Panchendriya being in contact is what creates problem. Right? And then in the morning, I don't know why people don't even listen to this and then understand there is a conflict in two different people spoke to two different things. And I don't know whether he is to be quoted. Dr. Deepak Chopra speaks about touch feel of Panchendriya. But our Yoga Siddhantam says you should not have attachment, you should not even touch. So it becomes against Aspashta Yoga. That's what I understood. I may not have understood properly because I only heard a lecture. You cannot understand everything when you listen to lecture. I wish to learn that closer and then understand whether the Panchabhuta, the two far from the yoga, whether it is connected and then spoke, and in between you cannot connect. I was also listening to somebody who spoke about integral yoga. The integral yoga is only talking about action. Devotional action is what is integral yoga. But that is not what Aristotle's philosophy. Aristotle's philosophy, or maybe if you look at the Western philosophy, for them, what is essentially required is a art form. In Bharatiya Shastra, Kala, K-A-L-A, when you write in English, when some Western translates, it has a big problem. Kala is having the different meanings. When I do my job, now I am doing this job of giving lecture. What is this lecture giving? That is a kala for me. That's an art for me. Because I am enjoying. So the word of action has got a synonym in Bharatiya Shastram as kala. So when somebody misinterprets it in the Western style, what is that? Aristotle talks about kala. Aristotle understood kala probably in the wrong sense. That's only what we can say. We should have that courage to say Aurobindo talked about integral yoga where it is full of action. Because Aurobindo's philosophy, you understand, you don't make that mistake. And then similarly, when somebody talks about the word Jagrat Sopna Sushupti, when you are in a Jagrat Sopna Sushupti, Samadhi is part of it, because Sushupti is as equal to Samadhi. So how can you say that mind is always up? Mind is not always up. When I go closer to the Dhyanam, when I reach into Layam, Dhyanam comes and Samadhi comes. Then I am a dead person. So integral yoga talks about Vidya, Sadhana and Kala. But Kala is not art form. Kala has got different meaning. K-A-L-A, I don't know whether it is Kala, action, art. It is knowing and doing with a feeling. Knowing and doing with a feeling. Therefore, I get merged into that. That merging is the enjoyment. That enjoyment becomes a Kala. So, Vidya, knowledge, with the sadhana, with all the devotion, and so casually you can do devotionally, meditatively. Then any action which you do, it can be driving, it can be cooking, it can be lecturing, it can be reading, it can be learning. Everything becomes a smooth flow of life. That is why my Guru, Himalayan tradition, speaks as meditation in action. So every job which you do, I am teaching mathematics, it's enjoying, it's an art for me. I am doing farming. If you don't love it and do it, it becomes a suffering. If you love it and do it, it becomes an enjoyment. Giving a lecture is enjoyment for me. For somebody else, it is not enjoyment because, oh, tension. Then it cannot be a Kala. So what is Kala? Prabhashanam is a Kala. We had great speakers. For them, Prabhashanam, giving bhashan is a Kala for them. But for some people, it becomes a punishment. So what is suffering and happiness? You are equipped for facing it, and your mind is not in turbulence. It is not jerking. You are comfortable. It's like a flow. Then you are happy. If yoga sukha sthira asanam, if that is Patanjali's yogasana, you ask me to do all that monkey's job. Have you seen yoga in which somebody ties his left leg and then put it on a rope and top and then pulling it so that their leg becomes straight? No. Where is Sukham? And I don't know why people have to do it. Brahma has given the way we have to live. In childhood, every child can suck their toes. That doesn't mean at the death also I will suck my toe. We are growing. So understand, we have a different purpose. That is why it is not the benefits of yoga alone. There are thousands of papers on benefits of yoga. There are thousands of papers on problems with the yoga. What has happened? We have overselling it. When we oversell, what happens is people make it as a business. When people make it as a business, we are actually making most of the people suffering with that. If that suffering becomes a problem for most of the people, that is why Bharatiya Shastra, when we started capsuling it and selling it without understanding the holistic aspect, Yukta ahara viharasya yukta chedasya karmasu yukta sukna vabhodasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Understand, it is big problem when you don't understand what is yuktam for you is not yuktam for the world. Some Yogacharya also make this statement. But why somebody should, I remember when I was also young, 20, 25, 30, that time I went to one of the medical colleges and then said early morning you should do yogasana so that you can become very healthy when you become old age also. They said, why should I suffer every day and 30 years, wake up early morning without even having the beautiful sleep in the early morning and then not having problem at the old age. Now I don't have a problem at all. And if at all some problem comes, we will see that time. Sometimes you have to be little practical. Sometimes that is why we have got two Vidya, Savidya and Avidya. Bharatiya Shastram doesn't say that we should not have Avidya. We should have Avidya, we should have Savidya. A mix has to happen. So what is life? You have that balanced knowledge. So what gives you that moksha sannyasa yogam is knowledge. acquiring sufficient knowledge with deep inside with, see, Tarka Shastram is what is Bharatiya Shastram. No webinar should end with one lecture. There should be questions. I stopped in between waiting for somebody to ask questions. I would have been very happy. And when I wanted to enter, chat was not working, mute was also there, so I couldn't. Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Oh, you are up.
Sir, it's always good to listen to you. Sir, there are few questions.
Yeah.
In the empirical reality, it is very difficult to get detached from delusion, ignorance, and bondage.
Yeah.
Is there any simplistic way to get moksha by Dr. Srinivasan K?
Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena ja grihyate. Bhagavan Krishnan very clearly says it is not that easy to come out of this delusion, illusion, problems, prarabdham, everything will be there. So when Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter 35th sloka, asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham jalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena ja grihyate. Arjuna himself says, achanchalam himana Krishna pramadi phala bala bat vadrudam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Very, very difficult, like stopping a wind. So what is to be done? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. With whom? With a proper, knowledgeable person. Test your guru. Ask him lot of questions. Be with him. Understand what is that he wanted to tell. Whether his parampara is perfect or not. When you get a guru, ask him which parampara he belongs to. Who is his guru? Who taught him this? It is not a university. It is not a Delhi University. I took a PhD, therefore I know yoga. That is theoretical. Bharatiya parampara, then you cannot take over to Patanjali. Patanjali's Yoga Sutram you are talking about, you should come to that parampara. So then understand from there, then I am sure you will know, oh, this is what I want. Srinivasan asking very good questions. Earlier also, morning session also, I heard he asked very good question. Thank you, Srinivas.
There is another question.
Yeah.
How can we differentiate between love and bondage?
What is it? What to be distinguished? I did not get those two words. JDMC left over. Jayanti ma?
Sorry sir. How can we differentiate between bondage and love?
Bondage and love. I love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love flowers. In my neighbor's garden also there is a beautiful flower. I can still love it without having in my garden. What is my bondage? I wanted to get it into my garden and put it here and bind with me. Hide it somewhere. So I will not give. Somebody is plucking it, immediately I get angry with him. Or some is not there tomorrow, then I feel so sad. I love tea. When I come to Dr. Jayanti's house, she is offering me tea. Yeah, I love it. I can have it. But Jayanti did not give me tea. Therefore, what happened? I become annoyed. Dr. Jayanti is not giving me tea. I love it. Delhi tea is beautiful. But you didn't offer it. Therefore, I am bounded to tea. Without that, I cannot. When somebody doesn't give, I am unhappy. That is bindedness. You have love, it is an unconditional love. As long as Dr. Jayanti is talking to me, I am talking to Dr. Jayanti. The time Dr. Jayanti disconnects from me, tata bye bye. I don't even care. I still love Jayanti when she comes back after 10 years and talks to me. What is bindedness? The day you don't talk to me, I say, why you did not talk to me? Why you are not coming to my... that's bindedness. Very clear? We all become beggars. Every lover becomes a beggar when you are a bonded person. That is why the teenage people have got, please love me, please love me, please love me. What is this? You are a beggar. Leave it. I don't care. That is what is non-boundedness, detachment. The word in Bhagavad Gita, most of the English interpretations use the word detachment. Actually, it is a wrong interpretation. It is not detachment. It is not getting binded. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna had attachment. He had attachment to Arjuna. Therefore, he gave all the lecture. But he was not binded to Arjuna. If you would have been binded to Arjuna, he would have told, Yadechati Tadaguru, you do what you want, would not have been told. You do what I said, otherwise I will not talk to you, would have been the last message. Krishna did not tell that. So Krishna had love towards Arjuna, but he was not binded to Arjuna. Even if Arjuna do not fight and run away, still Krishna would have loved Arjuna in the same style. So love is different, bindedness is different. Just because my mother loves me, that doesn't mean I should marry somebody where my mother dictates, this is the Purusha you have to marry. No, this is not that. I have my choice. Just because my parents, I have love, that doesn't mean wherever my father dug a well, I have love towards my father. That doesn't mean the water is bad, still I will drink it. That is blindness. Sometimes getting binded is blindness. Love is unconditional. If you are there, I am there. It's reflection. It's from the manas. Like Shankara said, manam darpana saman. You love me, I love you. You hate me, I hate you. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening speech. It's highly informative, and always I say that you are a mentor for me and mentor for many people, and I'm thankful to you for accepting our invitation.
It's good. There were a lot of good sessions. You should enjoy what you do. That's the ultimate Bhagavad Gita message is, you should enjoy. There can be, when any action, there can be some dispersions, diffraction, all that will happen. That is part of action. When you take action, there can be some problems also. That problem is, you can convert that into an advantage to solve problem and then show, yeah, that was a problem, then I solved it. All the best. Doing well anyway. But all the children has to think about it, reflect on this, ponder it, make notes, get back to those speakers to get some clarifications. Then only the webinar is useful. Thank you. Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll have a panel discussion.
Yeah, hope. Yeah.
That will be question and answer session.
Hopes.
So,
Yeah.
you are there, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So